Welcome to the Online Success Journey podcast, your opportunity to discover and learn from entrepreneurs like yourself. This is not your typical podcast, but a place where you can get the real story and find out how real people encounter speed bumps and detours, but journey through to find success. Now here's your host for the Online Success Journey podcast, Patience.
Hello everyone and welcome to Online Success Journey. This is episode 61. Are you ready to join the clan? Today we have Stephanie Fiteni, the co-founder and the digital strategist at Defined Branding and online visibility coach. Hello Stephanie.
Hello Patience.
I know the clan here is anxious to hear your story, so let's get started with the basics. Can you tell my clan a little bit about your background, about what you did before you started your online business, up to the last job or business you did before you are online?
Yes, well, I started in the advertising industry originally as a programmer. So when I started teaching myself programming a few years ago, in about 2002, and that's when I started working in the advertising industry. So I got into marketing and started learning a lot about how you sell things online. Of course, a few years later, I created a company with two business partners. And of course, my role was always closely connected to the web. I was always intrigued by people who, just set up shop and find their audience and, do their own thing online. So it was always something I wanted to do.
Wow, that's a great background, Stephanie. Okay, what is the most dangerous belief an online entrepreneur can have?
The most difficult thing probably is to kind of misunderstand the numbers. Some entrepreneurs think that, you're going to build a great site, you're going to put it out there, and things are going to just happen by themselves. And I think that is probably the biggest difficulty, the biggest problem that a lot of people face. When I talk about the numbers, I mean that, there are things like list building, like, how many people you should have in your Facebook groups and how much following. And these are all numbers that matter. However, they change a lot from what one person might need to another according to the audience. So this is always a little bit tricky.
Okay. Why do you do what you do?
Oh, I do what I do probably, well, to put it in simple terms, I have become somewhat of a content marketing evangelist. I have tried many different types of marketing on my own online business and also other people's, obviously through my company, Defined Branding. So I do a lot of marketing campaigns also to sell other people's sites and other people's services. And definitely the most effective has been content marketing, which is, for me, it is the most important form of marketing in existence today, for sure.
Okay. Let's put man aside. How do you know you are successful?
Well, I think, success means different things to different people. I think, you are successful where, you're not dreading your Monday mornings, but you look forward to them. I think that's a good benchmark.
Okay. Can anyone be an entrepreneur, or some people more cut out for it than others?
That's a very good question, Patience. I have met people who were entrepreneurs but were not terribly good at it, and I have also met people who were not entrepreneurs but would have made fantastic, business people. And what I would say is that anyone can be an entrepreneur if they put their mind to it. If they take it a step at a time and try to look for what makes them unique and work on that.
Okay. Why did you create the online for profit course?
Well, I created the content for profit course because I started doing one-on-one coaching. for consultants and coaches who wanted to do their own content writing and their own Facebook marketing, because obviously their business is based on their own expertise. So people need to know their face and their own talents. So I started teaching through my coaching. I created a program and I started teaching them how to write these blog posts, how to disseminate them online, how to mix in all the different social media and a bit of personal branding. And, especially the coaches in my course, some of them were extremely successful. Most of them loved blogging and are still doing it today, years later. And I always felt terrible because it was good for business owners, because the entry point, the price was €1,000 a month, which would be 6,000 for the whole program. So it was quite expensive for some people. And, I had a lot of people saying, oh, I'd really like to do it, but it's too expensive for me. So I decided to do it through a webinar course and, get more people on board so that I could offer it at a cheaper price. So that's where the course came from. I just wanted to reach more people, really.
Okay. What is your most valuable thing your mentor has told you?
Well, I think the most important thing is to keep things realistic and also keep them close to your uniqueness. For instance, myself, I would say I'm a little bit different to other people who do the same thing as me in marketing because I have a background in programming. So I think it's quite important that you focus on your strengths as well as on the things that you like. And when you combine those two together, they become very powerful.
I have seen many programs on the internet which are called content for profit. Why is yours different? Why is yours unique?
Well, it's probably unique. Funny you should say that, because it starts off actually in a place where most people don't actually expect it to start. It actually backtracks and it helps you understand and really focus what you want to write about by actually looking at who you are and what your business is, and making sure that the topics that you choose to write about are actually your strongest topics and the ones that you are really motivated to write about, because those are the topics you can keep up in the long term. And we all know content marketing doesn't work in the short term, so you need to have motivation and stamina to keep it up.
How long are we looking to start getting something from this content marketing? Because you said it's not on a short term. So are we looking for years, months?
Well, in the beginning, when I started actually offering the coaching, my average estimate would have been between 4 to 6 months. However, I have had some coaching clients that have seen results, on the 3rd month, where, they were seeing new clients asking for coaching and, a lot of new business inquiries coming in. So it can happen earlier.
Okay. What is the most valuable thing you have ever given away?
The most valuable thing?
Yes.
That's interesting. Well, actually, that is funny you should say that, because people used to tell me that I give too much valuable stuff away. Mm-hmm. That is why I came up with the idea of starting to coach, because I used to teach classes and do marketing. So coaching was in between, but I had, before I started coaching, that's where it came from. Somebody said, you're always giving us so much information, and you give everything away for free. They said you should offer us this as a service. So I created my coaching package.
Okay, let's talk about your coaching, your Content Profit online course. Tell us more about it.
The Content for Profit course, what it does is it takes you through the whole process. So you begin with actually looking at your own business if you already have one, or else at yourself and your business ideas if you don't already have a business. What it does then, it actually takes you through the whole plan, how to create a strategy, how to come up with blog titles, how to decide how often to post and where to share, and on which social media platforms you should be and how often, and how to make it all feasible so that you can do it for a long time, so that it becomes part of your daily schedule. In fact, one of the things that I have recently added to the course is habit formation, because content marketing is very much a habit. I can teach you all the strategies, but unless you really build the habit, you're going to slip, and it's going to be difficult for you to actually continue doing it. So it's a bit of an all-around. It's my frustration, and the reason why I actually started coaching on a one-to-one is that when I used to teach larger classes, because I used to design courses for training companies sometimes, and the biggest frustration was that when I used to give those courses, I used to feel that people didn't do enough follow-up and they didn't get enough out of it. And now this is exactly what I've tried, what I have changed with the Content for Profit course. I give people not only the strategies and not only the tools and the workshops on how to use the technology and how to decide what technology is best for you, but also how to build the habit and how to keep improving long after you have finished the course.
Where do we find this course?
Well, you can find the course is going to open again in a few months, because it only opens once a year. And at the moment, you can actually go to my website, which is stephaniefiteni.com, and you can register for the waiting list.
Okay. What companies do you take on, or individuals? Do you take on people who are already in the middle in the internet, or do you take on beginners as well?
Yes, I take on any kind. I have clients who knew that they had talents, but didn't know how to monetize them. And now, we have built an online presence, and sort of this particular client is now, a consultant and a speaker. He was not that before he started the coaching. So sometimes, by introducing people to online skills, you actually open up a new world where they can use their talents in new services and new ways. So I also have clients who already knew that they needed to do content marketing, but they didn't quite know how to actually plan the strategy and how to execute it in a way that gets results. In fact, I also have quite a few bloggers that do my course because they have tried. They can write and they know how to use the technology, but they're not managing to get results. So they need support with the strategy, a strategy that suits their kind of business.
So you'll be happy to take on the beginner to online?
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
All right, okay. So, Clan, that would be more information from Stephanie in a moment. If you are finding Stephanie's journey interesting and you are ready to hear more, come and listen to the full version of the interview at onlinesuccessjourney.com. If you are on Online Success Journey already, click on part 2 of Stephanie's journey and get lots more tips to help you with your online business. And don't forget, you can access all other online journey interview podcasts on the site as well. So check out the Content Profit online course at stephaniefiteni.com. That's a wrap, Clan. Remember, success is a journey. Patience and Stephanie. Join us in part 2 at onlinesuccessjourney.com.
This is not the end of the journey. We hope you've enjoyed listening to part 1 and want to be sure you know there is a second part to this and every journey podcast at onlinesuccessjourney.com, filled with even more success tips, uplifting stories, and even a bit of fun. There are dozens of episodes only available to the members of the Online Success Journey clan. Check out the website and click on Join the clan for more information. Patience would like to thank you for listening to this podcast, and she has a free audio gift for you at her website. Go to onlinesuccessjourney.com for instant access to this gift. Of course, you know that listening to the journeys of others helps each of us chart our own path. So make sure you're subscribed to be notified as each new interview is posted. There are so many ways to stay connected to the online success journey and to listen in. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we appreciate your help in telling others. One of the best ways to share the benefit you get is to rate and review it at Stitcher and other sites by clicking the stars or completing the ratings form, by clicking thumbs up and leaving a comment on YouTube, or liking and sharing the podcast on social media. To review the podcast within iTunes, simply open iTunes to the podcast, click on Ratings and Reviews, then write a review. On behalf of Patience, and until next time, thanks once more for listening. It is our hope that this podcast will guide you on your own online success journey.